Yo, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back today with episode number 2 of my franchise with the Colorado Rockies and MLB 13, the show. And this is game number 10 of the young season. We have traveled to San Diego to take on the Padres, coming into this game with a record of 4-5. And let's get right into things and tell you how we got to this point. If you missed the first episode, make sure you go back and check it out. There is a link in the description for the playlist of this entire series. And we started off that season, or this season I should say, with a 3-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers. Episode number 1 was the first game of the season. And followed by that, we had, again, 2 more games with the Brewers. The first one was a nice win, our first win of the season. We gave up a quick run in the first to be down 1-0, but in the 4th inning, back-to-back doubles by Tulowitzki and John Mayberry led to a 2-1 lead in the 4th. 2 more runs were added, driven in by Herrera, who had 3 RBI total in that game. That gave us a 4-2 lead going into the 9th inning, with Rafael Betancourt going for his first save. He scared me a little bit, gave up 2 runs, but we held on for the 4-3 win. Miguel Gonzalez, who comes over from the Orioles, gets the win in that game with 7 strikeouts. Very good outing for him. That trade has paid off already. And then the finale of that quick opening series against the Brewers, we yet again went down 1-0 quickly in the first. And then again in the 5th inning, gave up a 3-run home run to Corey Hart to be down 5-1 eventually. But the next inning, we tied the game up at 5 with a bunch of singles, stringing things back together. And then in the top of the 14th inning, we went to extra innings, obviously. Herrera comes through again with an RBI. Betancourt comes in, gets 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the 14th inning for his 2nd save of the season. And right off that series, we traveled back home for our first series in Colorado, taking on the same San Diego Padres. Dexter Fowler, started off that game with a lead-off double, followed quickly by a Troy Tulowitzki home run to grab a 2-0 lead. But then in the 3rd inning, we gave up a solo home run, still hanging on to a lead, 2-1. John Mayberry comes back, hits another leadoff double later on in the game. Herrera gets him home for a 3-1 lead. Herrera has been an RBI machine so far in the season for me. But in the 8th inning, they come around, score 2 runs to tie the game at 3, and then eventually win the game in the 9th. And that was a 4-3 loss. Still had 2 more games against the Padres. The next one was another loss, 5-3. We had bases loaded, and in the bottom of the 1st inning, a 2-run single by John Mayberry to quickly grab a 2-0 lead yet again, but then gave up a run on a sac fly in the top of the 4th. Still holding on again to a lead, 2-1. In the 6th and in the 7th, we give up a couple runs, which eventually lead to a 5-3 loss. So getting off to quick starts, but then losing the leads has been a bullpen issue, a starting pitcher issue, not being able to go the innings that they should be able to go, especially in such a early point in the season. The last game of the series was a win. Nothing exciting really happened. 1-0. Dexter Fowler, I keep messing up his name, my bad. Dexter Fowler was walked, and then a wild pitch got him all the way to 3rd base, and eventually Herrera got him home with a sacrifice fly. Betancourt comes in and gets the save again, 1-0, his 3rd save of the season. We turned right around after that series and traveled back to San Francisco to take on the defending world champion San Francisco Giants. And the first game of that series was a 5-2 loss. Buster Posey hits a 3-run home run early in the game, and then they added 2 more runs in the bottom of the 8th for a 5-0 lead. We had 2 on with no outs down in the 9th, but could not score enough, and only got 2 runs through again to lose that game 5-2. The next game, was a really well pitched game by De La Rosa. He pitched 7 innings, got 10 strikeouts, but the offense just could not come through. In the ninth inning, down 2-0, Carlos Gonzalez was walked and then was able to steal second and third base. Got home on a sacrifice fly, but it was not enough. And again, that was a 2-1 loss against the Giants. The last game of the series was a win, 10-3 in the top of the second. 7 hits and 5 runs. Our whole team batted around. We added another run in the top of the fourth and the top of the fifth to be up 7-0. After the fifth inning, they did put in a pair of runs and made it 7-2. Willeen Rosario added a solo home run to take an 8-2 lead, and then Tulowitzki added another home run, this time a 2-run home run in the ninth inning to take the lead. Not take the lead, but to continue keeping the lead. 10-2. They got a meaningless run in the ninth inning, and again, that's where the final score was, 10-3. So a bit of an up and down start so far on the season. The common theme that I've noticed so far is that we just have not been able to score runs. So hopefully that thing can change. I've been kind of toying around with the lineup. As I mentioned, Herrera, I keep forgetting his last name, or his first name. He's really been an RBI machine, and old man Todd Helton has not really been producing in the second slot, so I'm thinking about switching them around. And, I'm really happy with my bench, too. As far as my center fielders, I have basically 3 that I can play. So I may be looking, I know I mentioned that I would not be making many trades, but I may be looking to move Dexter Fowler. I really do like him. But again, there's 2 center fielders on my bench right now that have been producing for me, and he may be expendable. Depends on what's out there. I would definitely like to try to get another really good starting pitcher, or look at the third baseman position and see if we can upgrade there. But looking ahead, we have 2 more games after this game against the Padres, and then a 4-game series with the Mets, another series with the Diamondbacks, Braves, Diamondbacks, and then back at the Dodgers. I believe it's at the Dodgers. But those are the upcoming games. Just looking ahead, I would imagine that the next episode will probably be either against the Braves or the Diamondbacks, but, we'll see how things go. And again, I'm just going to be exploring some trades, kind of tuning up my lineup, switching things around, trying to get these big bats to produce some runs, because, this team is a very good hitting team, but we just have not shown that yet. It's very young in the season, so we're not going to get too worried. But you see, we get the win here, 3-1, and improve our record to 5-5 against the division rival San Diego Padres. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you click that thumbs up, and we will be back next week with another one. Peace.